Hello everyone, this is Manvinder Singh. I, together with my teammate Sneha Patel, have made a Python project to scan documents. It will be taking an image input and we will give a scanned image at output. So let's dive into the code. So let's look into the code. First of all, we have to import two libraries which we will be using in this code. First one is CV2 and the another one is NumPy. After that, we have created another file which is named as utilities, in which we have declared the functions used in this project. So we will import that also. So now there are two ways to take an input image. First of all, we can use a webcam, or otherwise we can also provide a path to the image we have taken through any camera or something. So in this example, I will be considering that I have an image which I saved as 2.jpg. This is basically to capture the image and to increase the brightness if we are using the webcam. So we will be setting its height as 640 and width as 480 pixels. Then we will initialize trackers using the function we declared in utils.py. Utils.py will be explained by my partner Sneha. Then we initialize count by 0. So count is basically to take the count of the number of pages we are scanning. So first of all, it is 0, and after the scanning process is complete, we will increment it. So now in the while loop, we will use the while loop until we get all the pages. So in the while loop, we will first take an blank page as an input. Blank page. We will consider a blank image, so that if there is an error, we get to know about it. We will give the height and width as we declared earlier. After that, if we have taken image from the webcam, we can uncomment this code. So it will consider the image captured, or otherwise if we have given the image like here in the path image, we can use this code to read the path image, and then we will resize it according to the width and height we mentioned earlier. After that, we will use the CVT color function of CV2 library to convert the image to grayscale. After that, we will use a Gaussian blur to blur our image, and then after we will run a function named WellTrackers. We do a canny blur, and we also do dilate and erode to the image. Basically, dilate and erodes are not necessary, but if there is a gap or something, it can remove that. So this was all about the pre-processing of the image. So now we head on to finding the counters in our image. First of all, we will copy our image results so that we can use it for display purpose. Then we will account for counters. There is a function named find counters in CV2 library. We will use that. We will use an external function for the best results for outer edges of the paper. After that, we use the draw counters to basically draw the detected counters. Draw counter is a function which is used to draw any shape provided you have its boundary points. Now we head on to finding the biggest counter, which is basically the page boundaries. So we will run a function named biggest counter, which is declared in utils. So in short, this function will be running a loop, so that each time we find a bigger counter, we will replace it by we will replace the previous counter by it. So once we have found all the corners using the biggest counter method, then we will reorder them so that they are in the correct indentation. Like if we have 4 corner points of a page, the first point will be the first, second one will be the second, and like that. So after that, we will use the draw counters to basically draw the biggest counter. After that, we will use draw rectangle function of utilities, so that the image will be in a rectangular form. The page is of course a rectangle. So this is declared in utilities. Now we will consider point 1 and point 2 so that we can wrap our page after that in a rectangle. So point 1 is basically a array of the biggest counters we found, and point 2 is the basically index of those points. So we will form a matrix out of it, and we will use verb perspective method of CV2. This function basically performs a feature based image alignment, so it will create a rectangular image from a tilted image which we scanned. And after that this is to remove 20 pixels from each side so that we can avoid the corner noise of the image. So now to get an binary image we will do adaptive threshold. There are basically two type of thresholding, the simple one and the adaptive one. In the simple threshold we basically use a global threshold value to get our image processed, but in adaptive threshold it is we use the different threshold values for small segments of the image. So here we will do the adaptive threshold for better results. So first of all we will use CVT color to grayscale the image. After that we will perform the adaptive threshold, and after that we will apply bitwise NOT operator to invert. It is used to invert on and off the pixels. After that it will create some noise, so we will use the median blur to remove that extra noise created in this method. Now we will take an image array. In this we will give the variables all the images which we calculated earlier. This will be an input to our threshold to our stacking function, and we have also applied a else condition to this. If we do not get any biggest counter in the image, so it will return the empty image, the blank image which we declared earlier in the code. With each corresponding image array we will have an image array label, so we will put that in another matrix named label. Now we will run the stack images function which is declared in utilities.py. This basically takes all the images which are in image array, and it is displayed as output along with their labels. This function is basically in utilities, which will be later explained by Sneh. After that we will display the output, and we will save the output when S key is pressed. So this is the code of saving the file. So we will first of all wait until the key S is pressed in the keyboard. After that we will name the file as result.jpg. We have also added a count function which we declared 0 here in the beginning, so to take the count of the pages, and if we have to add more pages we will be incrementing that. After that this will display a scan saved in the output, so that it is confirmed that the output image is saved, and then we will show the result. So this was about the final.py, the main code basically, and after this utils.py will be explained by Sneh. Thank you.
Good evening everyone, my name is Sneh Patel. Now I will tell you the code of utilities which is saved as utils.py. First we will import CV2, import numpy as np. We'll first define the function of stack images. The arguments are int array, scale, labels. This will help to display all the image in one window in particular order. Rows is equals to length of image array. This gives the number of rows using the number of sublist in the list image array. Calls is equals to length image array at 0 index. It gives the number of calling using the number of elements in first sublist. Rows available is equals to is instance image array 0 comma list. It returns to the given variable is of the type specified in the next argument. Width is equals to image array 00 dot shape 1. height is equals to image array 00 dot shape 0. It returns the dimension of array here specified. It is doing work to calculate the height and the width if rows available is equals to true for the x in range 0 to row, for y in range 0 to column. Here we are going from range 00 to row -1 and calls -1. Image array xy is equals to cv2 dot resize image array xy 0,0 none scale. Here we are changing the dimension of the image to scale here 0.5 and putting the image at 0,0. If length of image array xy is dot shape is equals to 2, image array xy is equals to cv2 dot convert color image array xy comma cv2 color gray to bgr. Here if the length of the shape is equals to 2, then they convert the color of the image to black and white. Image black is equals to np.0 height width 3 comma np.united. Here we are creating image blank list of data type 8-bit unsigned integer which is from 0 to 255. For horizontal stacking we will be using hor variable. Hor is equals to image blank multiplied by rows. Hor con is equals to image blank multiplied by rows for x in range 0 to rows. Hor x is equals to np dot h stack image array. Here we are horizontally stacking the elements. Hor con x is equals to np dot concatenate image array x. Here this concatenate the data at the end of the previous element. Vertical ver is equals to np dot vstack hor. Here we are vertically stacking the data of hor in vertical stack vertical list. Ver con is equals to np dot concatenate hor. This concatenates the data at the end of the previous element. If length of label is not equals to 0, now after inserting image we will be add labels to appropriate images. Images width is equals to int vertical dot shape 1 divided by columns. Each image height is equals to integer word dot shape 0 divided by column. Print each image height. Here the image height and the image width are calculated using the shape function divided by number of columns or the number of rows. For d in range 0 to rows, for c in range 0 to calls, we are going from 00 to row -1 and call -1. Here again cv2 dot rectangle vertical c multiplied by each image width comma each image height multiplied by d. C multiplied by each image width plus length label dc multiplied by 13 plus 7 27 30 plus each image height multiplied by d 256 255 255 255 cv2 dot. Here we are adding a rectangle to write the text into it. Here we are specifying the images were the location as c multiplied by each image height which is the x-axis which is the starting point, and c multiplied by each image height plus length label dc multiplied by 13 plus 27 comma 30 plus each image height multiplied by d. This is the ending point where the rectangle will stop. The color will be white according to the color code, and cv2 filled means the rectangle should be filled with the color specified here. cv2 dot put text. This helps us to put the text in the rectangle we have just formed. Put text were string label dc each image width multiplied by c plus 10 each image height multiplied by d plus 20. cv2 dot font Hershey complex 0.7 to 55 0 to 55 comma 2. Here the text thickness will be 2, the color will be 255 0 to 55, and we will in the end we will return the vertical list. Now we will define the function called reorder. Here in argument we will give my points. This method helps us to reorder the points of the scanned document in the variable name myPointNew, which will be shown later in this method. MyPoints is equals to myPoint.reshape 4,2. The reshape method helps us to make a new list of 4 sublists with each 2 elements showing the x and y coordinates of all 4 corners of the scanned page. MyPointsNew is equals to np.0 412 data type np.integer32. This makes a list with the data type int32. Now we will use add is equals to mypoints.sum. Here we are adding the x and y coordinates of the sublist and storing in the list name add, which will be used in my new point list. My points new list difference is equals to np.difference my point axis is equals to 1. Here we are taking the subtraction of x and y coordinates and storing in the list my points new. First we will store the value of minimum add. In fourth we will store the maximum value of the addition. In second we will store the minimum value of difference, and in the second we will store the maximum value of difference. In the end we will return my points new. Now we are returning the list of the coordinates that were selected in this method. Now define biggest contour. Here we'll pass all the contours which we have found in the previous final example. In this method we will define the biggest piece of contour from the list of contour. Biggest is equals to np.array, which we have entered here. We are initializing an array and name the biggest to store the counter. Max area is equals to 0 for I in contours. Now we are traversing from the across the list of contours. Area is equals to cv2 dot contour area I, storing the area of the current contour in area variable. If the area is greater than 50, we are defining the basic area to 500, because if we consider every small counter, it will be very difficult to compute all of them, which will take a huge memory to process it. Now peri is equals to cv2.arclength I, true. cv2.arclength is used to calculate the perimeter of the counter. If the second argument is true, then they consider the counter to be closed. Approx is equals to cv2.approx poly dp I 0.2 into perimeter we have earlier found, true. The pv2.approx poly dp will smooth and approximate the quadrilateral we have found above. If the area is greater than maximum area and length of approx is equals to 4, we will swap the biggest and approx and update the maximum area. In the end we will return the biggest list and the maximum area we have found. Now draw rectangle, image the biggest list we have earlier found, and the thickness of the line which we have sent in the final. Now after we have got the approximate counter, we will draw a rectangle across the counter and make using the method name line. The attribute of the line method are image name, starting location, ending location, color and thickness. Here biggest is having list, inside list and inside list, so it is a triple nested list. So the selected file need to be selected. So the first element will be selected as 000. For its y coordinate we will write 001 and so on for the rest of the following, which will be cv2.line image biggest 000, biggest 001 to biggest 100, biggest 101 with color of 0 to 550 and the thickness. Similarly we will do for the other three sides of the rectangle, and in the end we will return the image drawn using the line. In the end we will return the image who has a rectangle drawn on its sides. Now define initialized track bars. Initialized track bar value is equals to 0. Here we are creating track bar for increasing the threshold value conveniently. cv2.name window track bars, we will create a window named track bar. cv2.resize window track bar 360 to 40 pixels. cv2.create track bar, threshold 1 track bars 200 to 55 nothing. This helps us to make a track bar for changing the value of threshold from 0 to 55 with a 200 as a default and no callback function. In the end we will define a value track bars which will return the value of track bar selected in the window of track bars. In the track bar threshold 1 is equals to cv2.get track bar pose threshold 1 track bar. Here we are capturing the value of both threshold using the get method and storing in source and returning back to the final. Here you can see the track bar window where you can change the value of threshold to get the desired counter. In the result window you can see first the original photo, then in second column you will see the grayscale version of the original image. In fourth, we will get the counter covered with the green boundary. Adjust the threshold to get the desired counter. In the second row in the first column you can see the biggest counter selected and the green border drawn around it with the edge detected. In second column you will see the wrap perspective of the image, which is the output. In third, we will convert the result in image to grayscale. In the last, we will get the scanned effect by using the adaptive threshold. In the end, we will save the process by pressing the S button in the keyboard. You can see the image is saved in the folder where the code is saved.